Hey YouTube, this is another predictions video, and this time it'll be for the UFC Fight Night this Sunday, April 10th. Ben Rothwell and Junior Santos. Let's get started. First is Alessio Di Chirico versus Bojan Veljković. I'm gonna go with Alessio Di Chirico just because he's 9-0. I think he's the underdog. I think I'm gonna go with Alessio Di Chirico. Next is Jared Cannonier and Cyril Asker. I'm gonna go with Cyril Asker because Cannonier's hasn't fought in over a year. I just gotta go with the newcomer Cyril Asker, and yeah. And then next is Rob Whiteford versus Lucas Martins. I'm gonna go with Rob Whiteford. I think it's like pretty fast, powerful guy. Where he knocked out Paul Redmond, and I think he can get a win here. So I'm going with Rob Whiteford. Next is on the FS1 prelims, Filip Pejic versus Damian Stasiak. I'm going with Damian Stasiak. A little bit more experience in the UFC. I know he's coming off a year layoff as well, but I think he can take this one. Next is Myrbek Tasimov versus Damir Hadzovic. I'm going to go with Myrbek Tasimov. Again, more experience in the UFC, and I just think that he's been on a win streak, and so I think he can pull off another win here. If you guys were noticing, there's a lot of new fighters on this card. Next is Ian Entwistle versus Alejandro Perez. I'm going with Alejandro Perez because he had a pretty impressive performance with Scott Jorgensen, and I think he could pull off a win over Ian Entwistle as well. Next is Nicholas Dalby and Zach Cummings. I gotta go with Zach Cummings just because he's I think he's been a pretty good fighter in his UFC career, and when he's on the Ultimate Fighter, just think he's looked a little bit better than Nicholas Dalby has. So, yeah. And then the FS1 main card is Marina Moraz versus Christina Stanchu. I'll go with Marina Moraz. She's had some experience in the UFC. She's been in a war with Valerie Letourneau, and so yeah, I think that she can win this. Igor Pokrajic versus Jan Blachowicz is next. I gotta go with Jan Blachowicz. I think that he's had a better UFC fights in his last few fights, so I feel like that he can win this fight. Said his last few fights have been better than Igor Pokrajic. Igor's coming off a little bit of a layoff, and Igor really has not been doing that well in the UFC. So yeah. So I'm going with Jan Blachowicz. Next is Timothy Johnson and Marcin Tybura. I'm going with Timothy Johnson. I think he can pull off a win over the newcomer. Pretty big guy, so I think he gets it done. Francis Ngannou versus Curtis Blades. I'm going with the newcomer this time, Curtis Blades. 5-0, so it's a pretty good record. I just think he could pull this off. Hold on a minute. Yeah. It'd be a pretty good record, and yeah. So I'm going with Curtis Blades, and then next is Derek Lewis versus Gabriel Gonzaga. I'm going with Derek Lewis. I think he's the bigger, stronger guy. Gabriel's had a lot more experience in the octagon than Derek Lewis, but I think that Derek Lewis He's a lot bigger and stronger right at this point, and I think he can pick up a awesome win over Gabriel Gonzaga. And then the main event, of course, is Ben Rothwell and Junior Dos Santos. You know, for this fight, Junior Dos Santos is one of my favorite fighters. But just the way he's looked lately, you know, he hasn't looked that great lately. Even the win over Stipe Miocic looked like Stipe. I think Stipe should have won that fight, honestly. Even though I wanted Junior to win, I really don't think he won that fight. I think Stipe should have won. But Junior's one of my favorite fighters, but I have to go with Ben Rothwell just because of the way he's looked lately. With his, let's see, that go-go choke he pulled off against Matt Mitrione. First guy to ever tap out Josh Barnett in an MMA fight. The outstanding way he just knocked out, or TKO'd Alistair Overeem in the way Alistair Overeem has looked. So I gotta go with Ben Rothwell, unfortunately. So yeah. So this is it for the predictions of UFC Fight Night Sunday, April 10th. Rothwell versus Dos Santos, and see you next time for another predictions video. Catch you later.